Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the Upside Down for something we've all been waiting for, Stranger Things Season 5 predictions. With the final season on the horizon, the stakes couldn't be higher, and theories are flying faster than a Demogorgon on roller skates. But we're not just pulling these out of thin air. We're basing our predictions on solid evidence from previous seasons, with a heavy emphasis on the show's brilliant ties to Dungeons & Dragons. Let's get into it. First up, I'm going to talk about who I think will make it out alive or is very safe compared to most of the other characters. First up, Mike Wheeler, the Paladin's Peril. My first prediction is that Mike Wheeler will survive. Now, I know that some of you are thinking Mike's been through a lot, he could be on the chopping block, but hear me out. Mike, to me, embodies the Paladin archetype in D&D. He's loyal, he's protective, and crucially, he specializes in fighting the undead, which is essentially what the creatures of the Upside Down are. We've seen his unwavering dedication to his friends and moral compass, his readiness to stand up to evil, and he will likely play a critical role, perhaps even the critical role, and be in near constant peril this season. He might get roughed up, he may even be on the brink of death, but he likely won't die. If he does, it will be an epic, game-changing sacrifice, something truly monumental. Lucas Sinclair, the Ranger's Resilience. Next up, Lucas Sinclair. I'm putting Lucas in the safe zone. Honestly, there's practically no narrative reason to take him out other than shock value, and I think the Duffer Brothers are smarter than that. Think about Lucas's role in the group, especially in action sequences. He's the guy with the wrist rocket, striking from a distance, providing cover, and largely insulated from the immediate brunt of attacks. He's the group's ranger, a ranged damage dealer, often keeping his distance and picking off threats. We saw this clearly in scenes like his standoff with Max and Billy, or his sharpshooting during the battle at Starcourt Mall. He's a vital part of the team, but not often in the direct line of fire, which bodes well for his survival. Speaking of the Sinclair family, Erica is very safe. She most closely fits the rogue archetype, sneaky, quick, and capable of striking for massive damage when the opportunity arises. We've seen her agility and wit time and again, from her infiltration of the vents at Starcourt to her quick thinking in the caves. She's likely to be more of a comic relief character and or a side plot catalyst, whose actions might have small but impactful ripple effects on the finale. Plus, I don't see them taking away any of her family members, which should be a rare comfort this season. Max Mayfield, a blinded oracle's future. This one is tricky, but I believe she should be safe, though with less certainty than Erica and Lucas. Max just went through an entire suicide arc in Season 4, and for her to survive that only to die now would feel incredibly pointless and frankly cruel to her character and the audience. Her journey has been about choosing life, and that needs to stick. However, she's currently blind and possibly comatose, which makes her incredibly vulnerable. Lucas will definitely have to keep her safe, acting as her protector and guide. Her survival could also open up fascinating narrative avenues for psychic connections or continued insights into Vecna. Now for the grim part. Who's not making it out of Hawkins alive? Dustin Henderson, the ultimate sacrifice. This one pains me to say, but I think Dustin is going to die. This death would represent both growth and extreme loss, a brutal reality of war and suffering. Dustin is the second most likely death of the original cast in my opinion. He's consistently followed in the footsteps of Eddie, and I believe he will sacrifice himself for his friends, mirroring Eddie's heroic stand. His arc all the way back to the first episode, where he famously cast Protection instead of Fireball, has focused on him slowly becoming more comfortable with taking risks rather than always playing it safe. He's matured, he's brave, and unfortunately, I think this time the dice will not be in his favor. It would be a heartbreaking but incredibly powerful ending for his character. The Love Polygon, a bloody resolution. The love triangle, or quadrangle, with Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Jonathan is murky, and I predict it will be a bloodbath. Nancy should be safe. Her resourcefulness, intellect, and combat prowess are top tier, and her death serves little purpose other than shock value. She's too integral to the strategizing and problem-solving of the team. However, I believe 2 of the remaining 3 will die. Jonathan Byers is, in my opinion, one of the most likely to have a brutal and terrifying death. I predict he will sacrifice himself, likely in vain, for Will. His loyalty to his brother has always been paramount, and it would be a tragically fitting end for him to go out trying to save Will, even if it ultimately fails. Robin Buckley I also believe will sacrifice herself for Steve. Her death could be the catalyst that pushes Steve and Nancy back together, forcing them to overcome their lingering tension and regrets. It would be a powerful, emotional beat, and Robin's quick wit and courage would make for a truly heroic final act. If the Duffer Brothers are feeling particularly evil, imagine Nancy being forced to kill whatever takes out Jonathan, with a final, heart-wrenching moment between the two of them. Joyce Byers, the bereaved mother. Joyce seems like an obvious death due to her fiercely protective nature, but this feels too obvious. Duffer Brothers have listened to feedback that fans don't want another season where only new characters die and Eleven saves the day at the last second. Joyce will survive, but she's going to lose at least one, potentially multiple children. Will, Jonathan, and even Eleven are at extreme risk this season, and Joyce will bear the brunt of that devastating loss. Jim Hopper, the comforting chief. Hopper is completely safe. Similarly to Max, if he was gonna die, it would have been last season. He will likely serve as a comforting character, a rock for Mike, and or another character struggling with the profound loss of one or two main cast members. He's been through enough already. It's time for him to help others heal. The Wheelers are in dire straits. This season will put some of the main cast family members in extreme peril, and their deaths, especially early in the season, would set a much darker, more brutal tone that the Duffers seem to be embracing for this finale. This isn't just about saving the world, but establishing personal cost. Let's talk about Vecna and the Upside Down's influence. Vecna's power is in psychological torture, and with the rift fully opened, his hallucinations will likely be even stronger. I firmly believe they will bring back beloved characters like Eddie, Bob, and Billy in some fashion to torture the main cast. This aligns perfectly with the Duffers' focus on a definitive, emotionally impactful conclusion. Imagine the raw pain of seeing your lost loved ones twisted by Vecna's power, which he has already been able to do, but now considerably stronger. The new kid, a sacrificial lamb. That glasses kid from the teaser, he's dead. Most new characters introduced late in the game meet a grim end. He'll likely be used to provide us with a false sense of security, making us think only side characters are expendable before the Duffers truly break the rules and start killing off main cast members. Eleven's vulnerability, the end of a trump card. Eleven's death is almost too predictable, and I think that's a clever misdirection. She will close the rift, but I believe she will lose her powers in the process. The main cast won't have their trump card to escape unsurvivable situations anymore. This newfound vulnerability won't be fully understood until multiple deaths have already occurred, ratcheting up the tension and fear. They will likely set her up as the most important character again as a fake out for the real star of the final season, Will Byers, the Wizard's tragic end. Will Byers. This is the only character I am 100% confident will not survive this season. He is the conduit between the Upside Down and our world, and to finally end the cycle, he will have to disconnect from it for good. His death perfectly fits the narrative and the focus on a definitive conclusion by the Duffer Brothers. In keeping with the D&D theme, he was established as unlucky all the way back when he missed his fireball roll in the first episode. This failure, this final unlucky roll, will come at a critical point and be both surprising and exceptionally tragic. As the wizard of the group, he's the most vulnerable in terms of physical combat and can't survive the same way that most of the other classes/cast can. His death is not just a possibility, it feels necessary to truly close the rift and end the cycle that started with his vanishing in the first episode. It's the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. So there you have it, my deep dive into Stranger Things Season 5 predictions, all through the lens of D&D. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster, and I'm both terrified and excited to see how it all plays out. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with my D&D inspired predictions? Who do you think will live? Who do you think will die? And if you disagree with any of my theories as well, I would love to hear your feedback on that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I hope to see you in the next video.